It's pretty cold today.
Yeah, it's pretty cold today. We are in February, and usually this is not a rainy season.
No, and yesterday the sky just opened and I was almost singing the Toda song. I saw some rain in Africa. Oh my God, it was coming down.
It's crazy how it's raining.
But it's not really the rainy season?
No. Usually the rainy season commences around March through May.
Uh-huh.
And the other time you get rain is between October and November. But that's a low rainy season. Mm-hmm. We have a heavy rainy season in March, April.
Yeah.
So, and we have two other dry seasons. So we have a high dry season when it is summer in Europe. Actually, it's between June and September.
Yeah.
But we have another which is low, with little rain, which should be now.
Yeah.
So December to end February. So now see how it's raining almost all day, night, and not really heavy rain.
Yeah.
So,
and I found the rule that you don't leave without the umbrella.
there is a story which is actually it's like humor. It says that in Rwanda, when you leave home, go out with the jacket, with an umbrella, because in 1 hour you might experience all kind of. You can have. It's very hot, sunny, and rain in just maybe in an interval of 1 hour.
You get 4 seasons in one day.
Yes, 4 seasons in one day. Well put.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And speaking of funny stories, we say that, well, we get a lot of rain in Denmark, but we do have a nice summer that 1 week.
Do you actually? Yeah.
But everything changes, and I think the last summer, obviously I wasn't there, but I think that it was a long, hot summer in Denmark, and here it's the other way. You get more rain than normal, so everything is turning upside down. So we might be the next place that people go for warm climate.
Yeah, but in general, Rwanda has one of the best climate. I think the average temperature is like maybe the last time. I should check, but I don't think we can exceed like 20 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole year. So we don't have extra coldness. Maybe we can get up to 14 degrees. But it is rare that we go beyond 26 degrees Celsius.
And you're just south of the equator, so technically it should be warm a lot.
It should be warm a lot, but the altitude makes the difference.
Yeah.
Meet Palle Bo, a full-time traveler and digital nomad from Denmark on an epic journey around the world. At the age of 50, he made a bold decision. He sold everything, his house, his car, his furniture, and set out on a quest to visit every country in the world, documenting everything along the way. This is The Radio Vagabond.
Welcome back to Rwanda. If you haven't heard the first episode I did from here, you should go back and listen to that one first. Then you will know that I'm having coffee with Stefan, or Steph, as his friends call him. We talked a lot about some surprising facts about Rwanda. In this one, we'll be diving into some of the history of the country. But first, the weather. Rwanda, fondly known as the land of eternal spring, has one of those climates that makes you wonder whether Mother Nature plays favorites. It's pleasantly cool most of the year, thanks to the altitude, but don't be fooled. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Well, actually, it is, kinda. There's plenty of sun and quite a few rainbows, thanks to the rain. But you got 2 rainy seasons to dodge, March to May and October to November. So if you're not a fan of surprise showers, these might not be your favorite month. For those who prefer a classic sun hat and shades combo, June to September is your sweet spot. It's dry, with temperatures hovering around a comfy 18 to 25 degrees Celsius, 64 to 79 Fahrenheit. Perfect for gorilla trekking or just sipping something cool while you're admiring those 1,000 hills. So whether you're a sun seeker or prefer singing in the rain, Rwanda's got a season for you. And that was the weather. This episode is brought to you in part by Hotels25.com. Whenever you need a hotel anywhere in the world, go to Hotels25.com. That would get you the best price. Hotels25.com searches a bunch of the biggest hotel sites in one simple search. Hotels25.com.
My name is Bond.
Radio Vagabond.
You were born in Burundi, the neighboring country, and I guess Rwanda's number one friend when it comes to countries. It's another small country just south of here.
Yes, we say that Rwanda and Burundi actually are twins.
Yeah.
They are really twin countries.
Similar size.
Similar size, almost similar history because they were both colonized by Belgians. And at some point, Belgians made them one country. They called it Rwanda Urundi. For like 2 decades, I think they were one country. Although each had a king, but they were one country. Then Burundi also they have only one language, which is Kirundi. And I can tell you, Kirundi and Kinyarwanda, they are also, it's like only the accent that changes. Mm-hmm. I would say it's like British English and American English. Yeah. They can understand each other. Yeah. So they have almost the same culture. The population size is almost the same. I think one has like 13 million, the other one has 12 million. So they share many things, meals. Yeah. So I was born in Burundi because my parents had fled there because of the Rwandan history.
Yeah, but that was they fled before the genocide.
Before the genocide, actually 21 years before. They left Rwanda in 1973. That was a second flow of refugees, almost, because the first one was in 1959. The second one was in 1973. And then in 94 happened the genocide, and I would say fortunately the genocidaires were defeated, and the RPF, the party that is leading Rwanda since, made it possible for refugees to return to their country. Mm-hmm. That's when then my parents came back after 21 years in exile.
When I visited Kigali Genocide Memorial, it was a profound and moving experience, one that's etched in my memory forever. On a warm, sunny day, I arrived there and walked under the iconic gate into the courtyard, where a tour was about to start.
So we are here, and outside you have labels like this one. Then from 14 to 36 is inside the museum. In that building.
I'm not a part of this group, so instead I got a headset with the audio guide.
Welcome to the Kigali Genocide Memorial Center. This audio tour will last approximately 55 minutes.
In my headset, I was asked to start outside, to see the mass graves. They are a somber reminder of the scale of the tragedy. Over 250,000 people are buried here. And the sheer number is overwhelming. It's a quiet place where you can't help but reflect and pay your respects. The gardens surrounding and the graves offer a slight sense of peace and a space to process the heavy emotions that the memorial evokes. I had to pause my audio guide and take a bit of time reflecting on the scale of the tragedy. While I do that, let's catch up on a few details on the genocide. The 1994 genocide in Rwanda is one of history's bleakest moments, with around 800,000 to 1 million lives lost in just 100 days, and in a small country. It was a brutal clash fueled by long-standing ethnic tensions, worsened during the colonial era when the Belgians favored the Tutsi minority, deepening the divide between the Hutus and the Tutsis. The division was cemented through identity cards marking individuals by ethnicity. The genocide's fuse was lit on April the 6th, 1994, when the president's plane was shot down.
The RPF said the plane had been shot down by Hutus to provide an excuse for the genocide.
The identity of those responsible for shooting down the plane remains a subject of debate and investigation, with various theories, but no definitive conclusion. But it was the trigger, and what followed was a horrifying spree of violence, mainly by Hutu extremists, against Tutsis and moderate Hutus.
Within hours, a campaign of violence spread from the capital Kigali throughout the country, which will not stop for 3 months.
The brutality was chilling and personal, with neighbors, friends, and sometimes even families turning on each other and killing with machetes.
Neighbors killed neighbors, and some husbands even killed their Tutsi wives, saying they would be killed if they refused.
The outside world's response was shockingly inadequate. Despite UN peacekeepers were on the ground, the whole world failed to act, leaving the targeted population defenseless. After the genocide dragged on for 100 days, it finally stopped in July 94. This happened when a group called the Rwandan Patriotic Front, the RPF, took over the country. Nowadays, no one really talks about who are Hutus and who are Tutsis.
Yeah, that was also a good decision.
It's also something that goes for the Rwandans when they meet somebody. Do you know, or is it just not something that is interesting?
I don't think it's no longer interesting. It's something that was really created by colonials. Before, a Tutsi was someone who was raising cattle, so he was considered rich. Mm-hmm. A Hutu was like a servant.
And Hutu was the majority?
They were the majority, of course, because in all countries, riches, or how can I say, the bourgeoisie, as they say in French, they are leader, no?
Yeah.
But also they could shift. A Tutsi could become a Hutu, and a Tutsi could become a Tutsi.
Oh.
Yes, like in every country you can become rich or become poor.
So if a Hutu became rich and you,
they could be. That's before colonials.
Yeah.
But then when they came, they made them ethnic groups.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I think that division is what created the mess in this country, and that's why they no longer want to really mention it.
Stefan was 12 years old when his parents decided that it was time to go back to their home country after 21 years in exile. This was just a few weeks after the genocide ended in July 94.
Yeah, actually, the genocide happened in April, in spring, for 100 days. Officially, we say that the country was liberated in July 4th. It's called Liberation Day, coinciding with the Independence Day in the U.S. actually. Yeah. So we came right after. In the 21st of July, we were already in the country. The country, which was really in total disaster, was in ruin.
Yes, Rwanda was a real mess after all this. Society was in pieces, loads of people have had to leave their homes, and the economy was wrecked. Now the country had to face the huge job of getting back on its feet.
Do you know why they decided to come back to, because they're from Rwanda, why did they decide to come back to a country that was in ruin, and was it really fully known that, okay, all the killing is over?
Yeah. First of all, it's because still Rwanda was their home. Now they were allowed to come back, and they were also part of the RPF, and the RPF was really calling Rwandans to come back to rebuild the country.
The RPF played a key role in ending the 94 genocide by taking military actions against the genocidal regime. And after the genocide, they became the ruling party of Rwanda and has been influential in the country's governance and recovery progress.
So I think they felt that urgency to come and first of all see if there were their relatives that were still in the country, that perhaps were still in life. Second, to come to leave exile. Third, to really also contribute to rebuild the country. Yeah, I think it was a sense of patriotism, but also they had that nostalgic need to come back to their motherland. Yeah.
More from Stefan in a bit about what they found when they came back.
Coming up later in this episode.
I'll also be taking a hike in the northern part of Rwanda.
And now we're here, and this is such a unique place because you can actually see 5 unique things at the same time.
Actually, what you say is true. This is the only place you could find 5 things at the same time. We start with the volcano, the chain of volcanoes, 5 volcanoes. And also you see twin lakes where you could encounter the island inn and also the chain of 1,000 hills.
I'd like to take a moment to talk about something completely different. The Nomad Cruise. If you've been listening to the Radio Vagabond for a while, you've heard me talk about this many times. But now I've got a gift for you. The Nomad Cruise is what it sounds like. A cruise for nomads and other people who are considering to become a nomad or even just a part-time nomad. Someone who's able to work on the road and would like to dip their toes into the location-independent waters. It always happens on a big, normal luxury cruise ship, with great restaurants and entertainment. And then we do talks, workshops, meetups, and just hang out with other great, like-minded people. I found my tribe on the Nomad Cruise. People who get me, people who understand why I'm living this way. I've been doing 4 of them so far. Malaga to Athens, so in the Mediterranean. I did a Barcelona to Brazil. I also did Athens to Dubai through the Suez Canal, and recently again from Spain to Brazil. And I absolutely love it. So much that I already booked the next one. It's in September 2024, and it starts from Vancouver in Canada and goes to Alaska. But there's more. It continues all the way to Tokyo. How crazy is that? The price for this Nomad Cruise, including the cruise, free food, free drinks, Starlink Wi-Fi, and the conference itself, starts at only 1,800 euros. But you, as a Radio Vagabond listener, can get it even cheaper. If you use this promo code, Radio Vagabond, in one word, you get 100 euros off the price. Just like that. The code again was Radio Vagabond. And if you're listening to this sometime in the future, you should still be able to get a discount. The promo code should work in the future too. I can't promise you exactly how much you'll get, but definitely try it out. Go to nomadcruise.com and see more. They also got some great videos from earlier cruises. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to drop me a line. I promise you that I will answer any questions you might have. Find out how you can reach me by going to theradiovagabond.com.
The Radio Vagabond. Gotta keep moving.
Let's go back to the Genocide Memorial. The moment I step inside the building, I'm greeted with a somber and respectful silence, a stark reminder of the lives lost during the genocide. The memorial isn't just a place, it's a journey through Rwanda's darkest hours. The exhibitions are detailed and heart-wrenching. With my audio guide, I'm walked through the events leading up to the genocide, the horrifying 100 days of massacre, and the painful aftermath. The stories are personal, told through photographs, belongings, and the hauntingly intimate testimonials of survivors. it's hard not to feel the weight of their words as you move from one exhibit to the next. Stefan's mother was the 8th child in a family of 15 children, and what they discovered when they came back was horrific.
So we came back and really...
And you were 12?
I was 12. That's an age where you are really conscious. I can remember whatever I saw. I had done all my primary school in Burundi. So I think I was a big boy really to understand what was happening. And I can tell the story to whoever wants to listen to it.
What struck me most at the memorial was the selection dedicated to the children who were victims of the genocide. The personal details, like their favorite food or best friend, along with how they died, makes the horror of what happened incredibly real and personal. Just like Stefan's story, it's a heartbreaking reminder that these were not just numbers, but lives cut tragically short.
She was the only one who had fled, because in the second floor of refugees in 73 was mostly intellectuals who fled. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when she came back in 94, everyone was killed.
Everyone?
Yeah, of her siblings. Everyone. So when she's counting her siblings and their children, she lost 55 members of her family. She no longer has even one sibling. Only a daughter of his big brother survived. Same story happened with my father's family. They were 4, and he remained alone.
So to be honest, if you had not fled to Burundi and was in Burundi at the time, we might not have had this conversation.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
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 After the genocide, Rwanda faced a colossal task, rebuilding a shattered society, economy, and restoring peace.
Yeah, and also it was a good age to see the country being rebuilt slowly by slowly until what we are seeing today.
Yeah, and the transition this country has been through is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's very, very unbelievable. But it was made possible by the RPF. Mm-hmm. They inherited the country, which was a...
But it must also have taken a lot of money. Is it a rich country?
Naturally, Rwanda is not rich. We don't have natural resources, but we do have, I think, but not compared to other countries. But I think it is discipline, hardworking, as I told you, leadership, education, that participate more in the rebuild of the country.
The journey has been long, focusing on reconciliation and justice. Despite its painful past, Rwanda strides in healing and unity, reminding us that the resilience of human spirit and the importance of global responsibility is preventing such atrocities. During my visit to the memorial and hearing from Stefan how his family lost around 60 members, I was reflecting how it must have been in the time following. How do you unite a country after something like that?
And I guess looking back to the late 90s, Rwandans must have said, let's put everything behind us and let's be one people and not Hutus and Tutsis.
Yeah, trying to reunite people was not easy.
No, I could imagine.
Yeah, so first of all...
It's like, you killed my sister, or your people killed my people. And
yeah, it was a long process of uniting people.
Yeah.
People needed justice, and I don't think Rwanda couldn't try all the guys who participated in the genocide. There was what we call gacaca. Do you know gacaca?
No.
Gacaca is traditional jurisdictions that helped really people to unite themselves, because people were gathering together in the village and they were really telling what happened on their village. And responsible people who participated were tried by their own people. That was not only to bring justice, but also to reunite people. It contributed a lot. Yeah. Also, many of them were, how can you say, they got mercy from the government. Yeah. And an ID before 94 used to have here in the country mentioning your ethnic group, but that is no longer in our identification, because we want to call ourselves first Rwandans.
The Kigali Genocide Memorial was created not only as a place to remember and honor the victims, but also as a center for education. It's there to teach us to ensure that such atrocities never happen again. The message is clear: remember, learn, and never forget. Visiting the memorial is important. It's a reminder of the depth of human cruelty, but also of the resilience and strength of the survivors. It's a place that challenges you to think about human rights, justice, and your role in creating a world where such atrocities are never repeated. It's not an easy visit, no, but it's a necessary one, a powerful testament to the importance of remembering and learning from the past.
If you've been listening for a while, you know a thing or two about Palebo. And now, he would like to know a bit about you. So please fill out the 5-minute survey and answer a few questions. It's on theradiovagabond.com/whoareyou.
In the latest episode, I talked about this little Central African country being called the Land of 1,000 Hills. And in the rest of this episode, I'll take you out there to see them, or at least some of them. With the local guide, Christian, a few other guests at the place I'm staying, I'm driving around 2.5 hours north to a stunning area close to the Ugandan border.
So, Christian, can you tell the listeners where are we? We're close to the border of Uganda.
Yeah, actually the place we are is calling Burera district, where we're having two lakes. It's all normally calling twin lakes. One lake is calling Burera. It's having 5 islands, and the biggest island where still living the community. The second lake is calling Burera. It's having normally 3 islands. So both lakes we could see the view of 5 volcanoes. So the place we are here now, we are going to do micro hiking.
Micro hiking?
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you know if it's micro when we get there.
All right, that's a good thing. Please enjoy the journey where we are going to do micro hiking. By the starting point, we're going to see the bananas plantation. It's very green.
Yeah.
So the other things I will let you know once we reach on the top, please.
I will, yeah. It is very green.
Yeah. As we're reaching on the middle or the end of our journey and hiking of
the micro hike.
Yeah, we are reaching on the top where we are looking the lake calling Burera, one of the twin lakes. We're starting to Ruhondo Lake, now we are reaching up to Burera Lake.
And that's the bigger one?
Yeah, that's the big one, which having 5 islands. And also the biggest island, that's the only island still living the community in. Other 4 islands, no one lives in, only we're doing the experience about tourism.
And that's a school and a little hospital over there?
Yes. Actually, the government was taking out all the people who just living on that island for just give them the better condition of life. Or they build the model village for them where they could find electricity, good water, schools, and hospitals. As we saw, there is the big island, the one still remaining of the people. Before genocide, that island used to call it Batutsi Island. The discoverer of this island was the guy calling Muchochori. He came from the Loyo in Nyanza, after they get banned him because of some problem he caused in the royal palace. After reaching here, the guy, he comes with the cow. Now he calling this island Batutsi, as he's the first Mututsi who reaching on this island. So now, after genocide, the government changing the name, they call it Birgwa 1, which in the English means island number 1. Yes. Actually, the people or the community of the people who just living on that island was all of them Toto Watutsi. And during the genocide, this place we are for both Lake, Burera and Ruhondo, there didn't happen any genocide this place. Because as you see, the extremity of the place of the Thousand Hills, the back of it, it's Uganda. It's where the Inhotanyi comes from. They passing in the boats here to catch all the city, Musanze, or in Rubavu. Yeah.
Now we made it to the top. We're at 2,000 meters above sea level.
Yes.
We didn't start at 0, but we did quite a hike.
Yeah, we did a quite hike. It was very kind of tough, and also we experiencing the beauty of the nature.
And now we're here, and this is such a unique place because you can actually see 5 unique things at the same time.
Actually, what you say is true. This is the only place you could find 5 things at the same time. We start with the volcano, the chain of volcanoes, 5 volcanoes. And also you see Twin Lakes, where you could encounter the island inn and also the chain of Thousand Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only place you could just experiencing those things. If I say Twin Lakes, it's 2 lakes. On the left, we are showing Ruhondo Lakes.
Yeah.
On the right, we are showing Lake Burera. We are showing the chain of volcano. For the both lakes, they are in peninsula, islands, and also the good things above that lakes, we are experiencing the Thousand Hills as named by our Rwandan country.
If it wasn't a bit of a challenge to reach this spot, this would be where I would build a guest house.
This will be total little paradise for each and everyone who reaching on the top of this place.
Just imagine waking up to this in the morning, and right now we can see the volcanoes, but not because it's a little bit cloudy, but not all of them. But I can just imagine this on a totally clear day, and the sunrise and the sunset. Wow.
For the sunrise, it's starting from the Lake Burera,
the big lake.
Where we could see starting from the Thousand Hills as you saw it. But for the sunset, it's end up for the volcanoes calling Karisimbi volcanoes.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful experience you could just account in this place.
You've been up here at sunset?
Yes, I've been here for experiencing sunset. Yeah, and also sunrise, because we've been experiencing the experience of camping on the island calling Bjiza Island, and also there is another island calling the Girls Island here in Ruhondo. Both places you could do that experience.
Wow.
Yeah. And also there is a fish experience. It's done 7 o'clock night, 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
This episode is supported in part by Hotels25.com. You know what it is. You can find a cheap place to stay and blah, 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 all of that. But now you can also find flights. Yeah. And the website's got a brand new design, so I hope you like it. Go to Hotels25.com. Find a flight, and find a place to stay. Next week, I'm staying in this part of Africa as I go and visit their sister country, just south of Rwanda. It's a country about the same size, they speak almost the same language, but that's where the similarities stop. While Rwanda is the cleanest and safest country in Africa, my next stop is to the poorest country in the world. We're going to Burundi, and that's next Tuesday. But before then, we have Flashback Friday. That one's going to be from the Philippines. And then in the weekend, we have 2 Vagabond shorts. One is the top 7 things to see in Buenos Aires. That also comes as a YouTube video. And then on Sunday, I have a podcast episode for you about the hidden gems of Buenos Aires. So you get a lot before Burundi. My name is Palapo, and I gotta keep moving. See you Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and next Tuesday.
Radio Vagabond. Produced by RadioGuru.co.uk.